Hello everyone, how are you? Okay, so this is this video is going to be sort of a follow-up to the recent one I did about like like how to unlock more advanced chords. This one is more about like unlocking the more advanced modes and scales. I mean, it'll help like with like the modes and scales if you're kind of confused with that sort of thing. It will really help. But there's no point. I mean, like it comes down to there's no point learning fancy scales and whatever, or like doing fancy shredding exercises if you haven't got the chords to back it up with. Without a chord, the scale doesn't mean anything really. It's just like a pattern, or like it's just like an etude. It's an exercise. It's not it's not that constructive. Whereas if you understand the chords which go with the scales, it's going to be a lot more meaningful. We can get into that that Miles Davis thing about like the butter notes. Like that meaning like which notes fit and which don't, which sort of adds a little bit of spice into what you're playing, which things will clash, which things might be logical but your audience will go, ooh, don't like that very much, and so on and so on. So now, so we're going to go through the modes, but we're going to go through them in the order of like light to dark. Rather than like the usual if Dora plays like me, all is lost. That's the I got that from Frank Gambale. It was like a guitar player magazine years ago. Like the order of like learning the modes. But if you're just blasting through like modes, again, you're not really going to learn that much. So we're going from light to dark. So the pattern I want to convey is the one you might have learnt at school. I mean, I certainly did. Father Charles goes down and ends battle. So I always get this picture of like this little Irish priest, like with his his sort of little hat on and his Bible, and he's going down to this war zone, and he's a bit like Father Ted. He goes, "Hey, stop with that sort of thing. We don't want that around here." And they go, "Yeah, you're right. We don't need to fight. Yeah, we're all friends now." So that's how I see it. But like if you follow that pattern, Father Charles goes down and ends battle. That gives you the order of the modes in C major. So like Father being F. So that'd be So we're starting on Lydian mode. Now Lydian mode itself. Well, that doesn't tell us very much. But if we're thinking in terms of like what's known as the diminished whole tone scale, or like the whole so wherever we are, we're either playing 3 notes or 4 notes. So in the case of this F pattern, we play 3 notes here, and then we play 4 notes here, like that. No, because you could just play, and that's your Lydian mode pretty much. But that's like the first note, the first 6 notes of the scale. So if you just play a 3 note pattern here, because you see here that would be like a B minor with a flat 5. But if we change that to like just a B minor. I'll try and so 3 notes here. Yeah, 4 notes there. 3 notes here. 4 notes here. That's the octave. Again, 3 notes. 4 notes, and then the F here. Yeah, so we got overshot, but yeah. Okay, so Father, and then next one will be Charles. So that would be like the Ionian mode. First one was Lydian mode. Second one would be Ionian mode. Next lightest. But if we follow the same logic, because that's the major chord. So 3 note, then 4 note. I've got the jump. Sorry about that, folks. Because of the way that this is tuned. Because we play F sharp there instead. So. So then, because like we know the, if we know how our C majors go, we can practice doing things like that. Next will be G, which is mixed Lydian. So we got a choice here, because so if that's like a G, yeah. No, actually no. But I'll leave the choice for the next chord. But so we got a G7, but we got that D minor here. Yeah. So again, it's like 3 pattern, 3 here, 4 here. Goes down. Next would be D. So it's a minor chord. We'll play it here. So because it's I'm very tempted to start on the C sharp instead. So if somebody throws a D minor at you, yes, you could play Dorian mode over it, but you can spice it up if you just, because you get things like. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to play any more of that. One, because I've forgotten how to do it, and secondly because of copyright, etc., etc. But I think you know what I mean. But it just spices it up a little bit. So we play. So in this case, we play 4, and then we play 3. Or here. So it goes down, and next one is A minor, so which is the Aeolian mode, or it would be. So we've got a choice here. But if you again, like if we follow the reasoning from the last one, we can go. So we could do that. So or we could do that. Both of those are correct for A minor. So we can either play it like that, or we can either play it as a minor third here. But we're starting on the G sharp or A flat. Goes down and ends. So the next one is E, which is Phrygian. So I just want to change, because like if you're used to playing like your Phrygian dominants anyway, then we normally play, instead of going E, F, G, we normally go. But here we got the G, the G natural and the G sharp. Yeah. Ends battle. So the next one is the B, which is that's the Locrian mode, which is kind of, it's diminished anyway. So four patterns. So like 4 notes here. Now that's convenient because we're dropping into the F, aren't we? We're dropping into F Lydian then. Yeah. 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 So just practice doing things like that. So that was yeah. So Father Charles goes down and ends battle. So if you remember things like that, there's one more excellent little exercise. Just again, you know, like with Columbo, you know, just one more thing. Just one more thing before we go. Right. So yeah, if you play like an A minor arpeggio. So what you're going, bridge, third, fifth. If you change that note to a flat 5. Just practice doing that. Just practice doing that. Well, no, that would be that anyway, because it's B. It's B minor with a flat 5. If you make that just a regular B minor. Right, and then when we come to like the major chord, we can like put in some sharp fives. You see what I mean? Where it's kind of like, it's logically correct, but it kind of sounds a bit weird. I mean, I was thinking like the middle section of Round the Ancient Mariner by Iron Maiden. You know, all that One by the Star-Dogged Moon and all that. You know, and it's just on the bass. Yeah, it's things like that. Also, if you're a Star Trek fan, like what I am, then you know, like in the motion picture, there's that you know, the whole Vija Clown scene in, you know, in that first movie, you know, and there's some of those chords are going on in that as well. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get back on topic. So we can do things like that. Yep, and so on. And then just in closing, if we take that standard neoclassical sort of arpeggio, which is associated with Ingve, but that one. But we're just going to play that portion up. But if we change this note, so we can actually even visualise that in another way, you know, in relation to that video I did recently about, because you can see that in terms of like, what are we doing? So we're going from, yeah. So we're going from that chord to that, like some sort of seventh chord, but changing the note below it, you know, because like logically we can keep doing that. Yeah, but because we're going, because we're doing it at pace, it gives the illusion that you're doing something more complicated than you actually are. And so on and so on and so on and so on. Okay, so so I certainly hope you got something out of that. It's just a good way of like unlocking, you know, those modes rather than just going right, oh, C Ionian, right, D Dorian, E Phrygian, you know, because we don't want to be in like you know, like stupor mode. You know, it's not a punishment. You know, the idea is like it's supposed to be creative. You know, that like we're supposed to be. You know, when we are doing practice time, we're kind of windowing in on things. You know, sort of like, what happens when I do this? You know, it's like a laboratory almost. You know, experimenting. You're discovering. I mean, a lot of this stuff is, you know, it's already been worked out. but it's just that moment, you know, when you know, just that eureka moment for yourself when you first go, oh yeah, oh, I see what's going on now. And as you progress, you'll find there'll be lots of those. Oh yeah, there'll be lots of those moments. Yeah. So as ever, please please let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.